Imagine a scene that feels like it was ripped straight from an action movie. A massive SUV is tearing through a snow-covered track, the white powder flying everywhere. The speedometer reads over 120 kilometers per hour. Suddenly, an obstacle appears out of nowhere. In any normal car, this is the moment you panic, the moment physics takes over and things go wrong. But this machine, it swerves, stabilizes, and bypasses the danger with a surgical precision that feels almost robotic. And the passengers inside, they barely spill their coffee. Now, you might be thinking this is the latest engineering marvel from Stuttgart or Munich. Maybe a top-tier Range Rover or a Cayenne, but you would be wrong. This is the new reality of the Chinese automotive industry, and specifically, a car that seems determined to rewrite the rulebook on what a family hauler can do. We are looking at the new IM LS9. You have probably heard the skeptics. They love to say that cars from the East are all gadgets and no soul, or that they cut corners on safety. But recently, brands like IM Motors have been on a mission to destroy those stereotypes. They aren't just meeting safety standards, they are obsessed with them. We are talking about crash tests that would make a Volvo engineer sweat, and active safety systems that don't just beep at you but actually take over to save your skin. Adaptive cruise control, lane keeping, automatic emergency braking. These aren't expensive options anymore, they are the baseline. And the LS9 is the flagship that brings all of this together in a package that costs less than $50,000. But before we get into the nuts and bolts, you have to understand where this car comes from. IM Motors isn't some garage startup that glued a battery to a skateboard. It appeared in late 2020, which sounds young, but look at the parents. You have SAIC, the biggest auto concern in China, holding the reins. You have Alibaba, the internet giant, providing the digital brains. And you have Zhangzheng High-Tech providing the silicon soul. It is a joint venture of giants. When they go abroad to places like the UK or Australia, they even wear the MG badge, a name with history, to bridge the gap. So this isn't a gamble, it's a calculated strike by a powerful alliance of money, technology, and manufacturing experience. Now, look at it. The LS9 is, frankly, enormous. We are dealing with a body length of 5,279 millimeters. That is nearly 3 meters of metal, glass, and ambition. The width is exactly 2 meters, and it stands 1,806 millimeters tall with a wheelbase of 3,160 millimeters. To put that in perspective, this is a land yacht. But unlike most land yachts that look like bricks on wheels, the designers here have tried to make it look sleek. The front is completely closed off. No grille. Just sharp lines and a continuous strip of daytime running lights that makes it look like a Cylon from Battlestar Galactica. They have added extra LEDs in the bumper to make it look even wider, as if 2 meters wasn't enough. You get flush door handles that pop out when you need them, chrome accents that actually look tasteful, and massive 20-inch wheels that fill the arches perfectly. And yes, there is a LiDAR sensor perched on the roof like a watchtower, flanked by powerful spotlights. It is a look that says high-tech without screaming for attention. But here is the thing about big SUVs, they usually handle like school buses. You turn the wheel, wait for a written invitation, and then the car eventually changes direction. The LS9, however, has a secret weapon that completely changes the game. It is called the digital chassis, and specifically, four-wheel steering. We have seen rear-wheel steering before on German luxury cars, usually turning maybe 3 or 5 degrees. The LS9, its rear wheels can turn a staggering 24 degrees. That is not a typo. 12 degrees in each direction. This means this. 3-meter giant has a turning circle of just 95 meters. That is comparable to a Mini Cooper or a compact hatchback. Imagine pulling a U-turn on a narrow street in one go, while the guy in the mid-sized sedan behind you has to do a 3-point turn. It is the kind of feature that makes you giggle every time you use it. It shrinks the car around you, making it feel nimble in a way that physics says shouldn't be possible. Comfort is the other side of that coin. The car sits on a dual-chamber air suspension with 150 millimeters of travel. It is a magic carpet ride. The system reads the road and adjusts the stiffness of the dampers in real time. Potholes, speed bumps, rough gravel, it just swallows them. You feel the suspension working, but you don't feel the impact. It allows you to raise the car for clearance or drop it down for aerodynamics on the highway. It is the kind of versatility you used to have to pay 6 figures for. Let's talk power, because this is where it gets interesting. The LS9 uses an 800-volt architecture, which is the gold standard for modern EVs. But it's not a pure electric car in the traditional sense. It's a hybrid, or more accurately, an EREV, an extended-range electric vehicle. Under the hood, there is a 1.5-liter turbo engine with 5 horsepower. But here is the kicker: that engine is not connected to the wheels. It doesn't drive the car. Its only job is to spin a generator and make electricity. It is a portable power station. The actual driving is done by electric motors. You have two options. The base model gives you a total of 517 horsepower with a 52 kilowatt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery. But the one you really want is the top version. That bumps the power to 530 horses and 670 Newton-meters of torque, using a fancier hybrid sodium-lithium battery with 66 kilowatt-hours. Both versions will launch this 2,695 kilogram beast from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 4.9 seconds. Just think about that momentum for a second. Nearly 2.7 tons hitting highway speeds in under 5 seconds. It is terrifyingly impressive. The real beauty of this system, though, is the range. The battery alone gives you about 400 kilometers of silent electric driving. That is more than enough for your daily commute, the school run, and grocery shopping for a few days. But when you want to go on a road trip, the gas engine kicks in to keep the battery charged. With a full 60-liter tank of fuel and a full charge, this thing can cover up to 1,500 kilometers without stopping. That is, driving from Berlin to Rome on a single tank. And because the engine always runs at its most efficient RPM, fuel consumption is around 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers. For a vehicle of this size, that is witchcraft. However, I have to be a professional here and point out a potential downside. While 1,500 kilometers sounds amazing, these figures are usually based on the CLTC cycle, which is notoriously optimistic. In the real world, with heating on, driving at 120 km/h and hauling a trunk full of luggage, you won't get 1,500. But even if you get 1,000 or 1,200, that is still phenomenal. And let's not forget the warranty, 8 years or 200,000 kilometers on the electric motors. That shows a lot of confidence. Walking up to the car, you notice the doors. They are semi-automatic. They pop open gently with an electric hum and close themselves with a soft latch. It is a party trick that never gets old, although one has to wonder how they will behave in 10 years when the sensors get dirty or the motors get tired. But for now, it feels very Rolls-Royce. Inside, the cabin is where the ordinary person might just lose their mind. It is stunning. They have used warm wood trim, elegant patterns, and just the right amount of gold accents. It doesn't look tacky, it looks expensive. The seats are wrapped in soft Nappa leather, and get this, a 12-liter refrigerator is standard equipment, not an option, standard. You can keep your drinks cold or your takeout warm. The dashboard is dominated by screens, because of course it is. You have a massive 27-inch main display with 5K resolution. The clarity is razor sharp. Then there is a 15.6-inch screen for the passenger, placed in a way that doesn't distract the driver. It is all powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8295 chip, so the menus fly. No lag, no stutter. You also get a head-up display and a 360-degree camera system that is essential for parking a car this big. But if you think the driver has it good, check out the back. The second row has zero gravity, seats that recline and massage you. And they haven't just slapped a generic massage motor in there. You can adjust the intensity and position. It is genuine relaxation. There is a huge 21.5-inch screen that folds down from the ceiling for rear passengers with its own independent climate controls. You can control it by touch, voice, or even a remote. It is a cinema on wheels. Even the third row, usually the penalty box in SUVs, gets respect. Heated seats, power-adjustable backrests, and plenty of space. IM Motors has also included a fascinating feature called Anti-Motion Sickness Mode. It analyzes 16 different dynamic parameters, acceleration, braking, swaying, and adjusts the screen visuals and cabin environment to help prevent nausea. If you have kids who get car-sick reading tablets, this could be a lifesaver. Storage is practical too. With all seats up, you have 372 liters of trunk space. That is enough for groceries or a couple of gym bags. Fold the third row and it opens up to 1,030 liters. But the LS9 has one feature that is so bizarre, so incredibly niche, that I absolutely love it. You can order a mobile shower package. Yes, a shower. There is a 10-liter water tank hidden in the trunk, and the car's electrical system heats it to a comfortable 45 degrees Celsius. You attach a fabric enclosure to the raised tailgate, and voila! You have a private shower stall in the middle of the woods. Is it a gimmick? Probably. Will 99% of owners ever use it? Doubtful. But for that one time you go camping or spend a day at the beach, it is the ultimate flex. Now, we have to talk about the autopilot. The LS9 is bristling with sensors. You have that 520-line LiDAR on the roof, the NVIDIA Orin-X superchip crunching the data, and algorithms from Momenta. It offers Level 2 Plus autonomy, lane keeping, adaptive cruise, auto parking. It does it all smoothly. It is impressive, but remember, it is still an assistant. It is not an excuse to take a nap. So, where is the catch? Well, aside from the potential optimism of the range figures, there is the issue of brand recognition. IM Motors is young. You don't have the decades of reliability data that you have with Toyota or the service network of a Ford. You are an early adopter. And while the technology is dazzling, screens can glitch and electric doors can jam. Complexity is the enemy of longevity, and this car is very, very complex. But then you look at the price. The base model starts around $47,300. The top-spec technological marvel we just described is about $51,500. For that money, in the European or American market, you get a mid-spec crossover with plastic seats and analog dials. Here, you get a 5.3-meter luxury liner with four-wheel steering, a home cinema, and a shower. The IM LS9 is a bold statement. It is designed to challenge the leaders, to shake up the status quo, and to show skeptics that Chinese cars can be safe, powerful, and incredibly stylish. It is not perfect. It is massive, complex, and unproven in the long run. But it is exciting. It brings a sense of wonder back to family cars. It makes you want to find a snowy road, drive 1,500 kilometers to nowhere, and take a hot shower out of the back of your car just because you can. That is the loop. That is why this car matters. It isn't just transportation, it is an experience. That's all for today's deep dive into this Eastern giant. Thank you so much for staying with us until the end. If this review opened your eyes to what's happening in the car world, please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and tell me in the comments, would you trust a car with a 24-degree rear steering angle, or do you prefer the old school? Your interaction helps the channel grow and lets us bring you more honest, detailed reviews like this one. We wish you interesting journeys. May your car always serve you well, whether it has a shower or not, and may the roads be smooth and safe. See you soon on the channel.